All right. Want to be on here?
Hello, everybody. Here's Homestead, and here I with me, Pop Sprout, and here I with me, Pop Little Sprout.
You're a silly goose. Why don't you slow down and say that so everybody can understand you?
Hey, everybody. Here's Loma Acres Homestead.
Yeah.
And here I have with me, Papa Sprout. Here I have with me, Asa Sprout.
No.
Little Sprout.
Little Sprout. Yeah, we try not to give out our real name online. It's just to help protect ourselves. Okay? Things happen. I'm not mad with you for putting it out there. Good morning, Off Kilter Homestead. Glad to have you here. I'm in fact excited to see somebody jumping in already. Usually a couple minutes in before somebody shows up. Here we are, just barely a minute in. So good morning. So
Are we going anywhere today?
No.
Why?
Because I don't want to. Good morning, and quick report on the keto diet. Still doing it. That's it. Just kidding. I am still, maintaining the keto diet. I had been taking a meal off a week. I did not do that this week. And I lost 1 pound No. I lost 3 pounds this week. I am 1 pound further down than I was after the first week, for a grand total of 11 pounds down now, 3 weeks in, to the collaboration. If I go back to the beginning of the year, I am at 41 pounds down for the whole year. That's one very full pant size. In other words, it's really more than a pant size, but it's not quite 2 pant sizes for me. So it's a step in the right direction. And we're about to find out what pounds Little Sprout's at today. Quickly. 50. Oh my goodness. You are gaining weight in a healthy way, like a 5, almost 6-year-old should do. And that is a top. It was a high five, in case you couldn't tell. So we have been, I don't want to say struggling, because that's not right. Anytime you make a change in life, it's hard to do. And for our 40-ish years in life, we always ate this way. And look at our health, way overweight and cholesterol high and et cetera, et cetera. And we've made the changes and we're doing better. He's got a brand new hat. He's excited about it. He looks like, I don't know if I can. He looks like his big brother with a hat on. That's what he said. He said something different. I just wanted to word it that way. So real happy to report some weight loss finally coming back towards us, and some other health benefits coming back towards us. And I've got an excited 5-year-old this morning. He is up and moving today, buddy. Lisa Hopkins, Sunny's Place, and Farming Our Backyard. All of you, good morning. Thanks for being here. And I'm glad Nathan and or Jerry, you said we're, so I assume you're both here. Glad you're feeling up to it. So we are going to be making some keto recipes today on film, maybe tomorrow. We have just a chock full weekend of things to do. And it's all related to making some soap, making some videos. We we aren't well making some videos about keto and some other things that I've already said in previous lives that we're going to get to. Well, we're finally going to get to them. My wife and I both have said we have got to get these videos done, and we have told everybody we're not doing anything with anybody else this weekend. Don't even waste your time calling us and asking us to come over for dinner or whatever. We got work to do, and that's what we're going to be doing today and tomorrow, and probably some on Monday. We're going to get a couple of collaboration videos for other people's collaborations up. We are going to get our couple of our keto videos up. I'm finally going to get the bee candy boards made. Now, I want to say, just to clarify, I said we're going to get them up. We may not get them onto YouTube. In fact, I think we're going to purposely plan not to do 5 videos in one day loaded. We're going to get them made so that we can get them ready to go up. Yeah, you guys are running behind on. There's a lot of people running behind. I still haven't heard from Big Bear as far as their video. They've let me know that there's Jason. I talk with Jason mostly. He's let me know that he's eating more keto. I don't know that he's doing it 100%, but he's let me know that he's eating more keto than he had been. But there's, we don't have the video up yet. That's fine. The whole point of this collaboration isn't so much make videos of it. It's to hold each other accountable, and he and I need to do that for each other. And he's part of me. He's letting me know he's doing well, and that's that. So there's the keto update from my end. I see it from Farming Our Backyards end, and if you have any questions about that, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm going to switch gears. Bam! The pictures that have been taken over Facebook homesteaders groups. I got one too. Actually, I got 3 of them. And we kind of don't know why. We could have understood getting 2, one addressed to me and one addressed to my wife, because we have both made orders from Baker Creek under our own individual name. And so I can understand getting that. I don't know why my wife got 2 of them addressed to her. But that's okay. Now we have one to give away to somebody who says they want to make a garden. Here you go. I'm not going to give out the details yet because that's another one of the videos we're going to make. I saw all these people get multiple copies of their Baker Creek seed catalog, and I said, oh, we've got an idea for a collaboration. And my wife, we were just feeding off of each other really well about what to do with this collaboration. It's going to be a lot of fun. We are feeding off of each other. What that means is one of us would say something and the other one would grab onto what the first one said and make it better or bigger. And then like mommy said something, and I was like, oh yeah, let's do this with it. And then she said, oh yeah, that's great, let's do this with it. And we just kept getting bigger and bigger ideas, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very excited for some of the other people who have said they want to be involved in this. I didn't put details out, and I'm not going to put details out here. I want to put the details out when we make the video. But some of the channel, the Naked Gardener channel wants to be involved. Walterman Homestead, 2 Family Homestead. Wholesome Roots, Rose is interested. She hasn't committed to it. She needed to talk to her husband about it, and I nothing but respect for that. I've got our high mowing seed catalog as well sitting right out in the other room there. I haven't even cracked that one open yet. It came at a time where I was doing something. I set it down and didn't get back to it that day, and then Baker's Creek came the next day, and that's the one I've been in. And I just looked at the high mowing one today where I sat at and said, oh, I need to get back into that one too. But it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be an open invitation collaboration, but of course, there's going to be a few people that are tagged in it. It's going to be fun, especially with some of the channels that I think my wife and I are going to have a fun time making this and watching this one. I just am excited as could be. The first person that jumped on when I said, you interested, was the Naked Gardener. And when I told him what it was, they were like, yeah. I think they are probably going to have the funnest video out of this. That's just my opinion. Looking at it ahead of time, you have to quit yelling.
Every Spider-Man game has a spider in it.
We're gonna do this. We're not going to talk about games on here because it's such a little part of our life. We can talk about Spider-Man if you want to. I don't care, but we're not going to talk about the games.
Guess what Spider-Man can do?
He can shoot webs. So
he can stick to sideways objects.
That's correct. On the shows and in the comic book. So we to answer you, Sonny's Place, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If not, I apologize. We're not promoters of video games with our kids. We do give them a little bit of freedom to play some, but and of course our older ones, they have a little more time than, for example, our 5-year-old. But I'm not going to sit there and be all excited with him and talking about it and watching him play for his time. And don't get me wrong, if he's like really excited about something, Dad, I want you to see this, what I just did with my character, I'll watch him do it again or something. But I'm just not promoting it. And he was wanting to talk about it. He's not even playing a game now, and that's great. He just happens to be watching a Spider-Man show, but he turned around and Dad's Spider-Man in the game, whatever the case may be. And I just, because I don't want to promote that with him, I don't get excited about it, and I kind of nip it in the bud. If he were to come to me a minute ago and talk about, Dad, I was outside throwing the ball against the house and this happened, that'd be a different story. Or, Dad, come and look at my cucumber plant, because he did that a lot last year. At 5 years old, it was every day, can we go check the garden? Now, we didn't get to check it every day because of my work schedule and whatnot. But that was stuff that I would get excited with him about. But when it comes to games on the TV, nah. Just not interested. So anyway, back to the seeds. I know a lot of people are getting theirs. So for example, Farm in Our Backyard, you mentioned you hadn't got it. I imagine it's going to be coming soon. I know we got ours, was it 2 days or 3 days ago, something like that. And a bunch of people that had mentioned getting several copies. And chatting back and forth or seeing their chat. I saw a lot of people hadn't got them yet. And then a lot of those people who hadn't got them that day got them the next day. And I would say over the next week, pretty much everybody who's signed up on the list to get them will have them. But that is a guess on my part. I'm not speaking for Baker's Creek or the post office. So I'm glad to know that everybody's excited to get them. I'm glad that we as a society are moving back towards what we are, grow my own, buy local, etc. And I'm just excited for that. I don't know how many of you folks have been able to take part in the online summit that's going on right now. It's thriving. Oh goodness! I'm looking down here because I'm trying to get the name of it. Make sure I tell you right. Um, something thriving farmers or something. Today is day 2 of the Thriving Farmers Summit. It was a free online 3-day seminar with multiple speakers. Now, there's about 5 speakers a day. It's all pre-recorded stuff. A gentleman sat down. Most everybody in here is, oh, thanks for letting me know. Mama Sprout's on. The gentleman who's hosting the summit sat down like, okay, most everybody in here is familiar with Two Family Homestead, and they do their Monday night lives where they have a person sitting in that person's own home, but they can Skype them in, and there's a live conversation set out through YouTube. Well, this guy did something like that, except it wasn't live. It was all pre-recorded. And he's had, yesterday, the 2 speakers that I knew, Joel Salatin was on and Curtis Stone was on. There were a few others. Unfortunately, the way my day went yesterday, I only got to watch Joel Salatin. It was about an hour long for each person. Let me know what those ones you want to try from Baker's are from in our backyard, because if we order them, we're not going to use a whole packet. We may be able to get some to you, so you don't have to buy a whole packet that you're not going to use the whole packet of. Day 2's got some interesting ones. I don't know any of the names of the people that are on day 2, but the subjects, goodness gracious, my face is so itchy today. Sorry, guys. Loving Ivy Farm, hello, and thanks for being here. Also, Food Forest Permaculture popped in. Good morning. Thanks you for being here as well. I'm excited that there's stuff like that out there, and I want to mention that I know each speaker on there has something that they're giving a discount on, and I haven't looked at what they all are today. I've got until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning to watch all of the videos that I want to watch, to look into what they're having discounts on. But for example, yesterday Joel Salatin was on, and he's got the Rogue Food Conference coming up in Cincinnati, Ohio, on the 25th of January. And yesterday he was giving $20 off a ticket. You know, that's just an example of stuff. I wish I was in a position, if I'd have known ahead of time, I could have planned for that. And I'd have bought my tickets yesterday, but I wish I could have. But my wife and I committed yesterday. We will be going to that, even if it means a sick day from work. We're going to go to that, because the points made about that is something we have to take care of. In your yard, Homestead. Good morning, Josh. Well, good morning from us. It's probably about evening where you are, or maybe early midnight. I don't know exactly the time difference. So we're going to go to the Rogue Food Conference, and we want to learn some techniques to not break the law. Y'all know me. When appropriate, I'm all about civil disobedience. But I also am not one to encourage breaking the law. There's a big difference. Of course, at the same time, I'm going to say this way because Australia is in the house. In our country, if a law is unconstitutional, it's null and void. It's not a law at all. So disobey civilly when appropriate. Well, I think that I understand at this Rogue Food Conference, that's what they're going to be showing. Ways to still follow the law, but do what you need to do to get local produce, to sell local produce. That's a big thing. Um, exactly. It's Sonny. I really want to know. Sonny, I'm gonna say it's Sonny. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Sonny's place. You're exactly right. It's about the loopholes, but that's still a form of civil disobedience because the government says this and everybody just takes it at face value. But is that really what it is? Um, and I hope that makes sense. Let's see. We're going to that. I'm going to look on the Thriving. If you guys have a chance, I suggest you look it up and see if you can still get into the conference to watch the rest of the free videos. And if not, I mean, I'm going to probably, I have to see how much it is. I'm going to probably, in a month or two, if it's available, look at buying the membership, if you will, to that Thriving Farming Conference. Why can I not remember the name of this thing? I keep saying it wrong. Thriving Farmer Summit. Just so I can hear the other speakers, because there was some stuff that was just really interesting and it really helped, in my opinion, just looking at the titles at least. It will really help a beginning homesteader, a beginning farmer out in how to grow your business, maybe how to pay less taxes to the man, to Big Brother. Food forest permaculture, exactly right. No yoke upon a man. That's the way we need to get back to. That's my opinion and my understanding. That's how this country was founded. And we as a populace have just let that go. Now, I want to try not to be political the whole time. Don't get me wrong. I could talk about it, and I enjoy talking politics. I really try to look at both sides of the issue. I try to look at the points of those on the right side and the points of those on the left side and understand it. And there's a lot of times that I can say both sides have a good point. And for me, it always falls back to what is the Constitution? What did the founders of this country intend? Where should we be? And I don't care, if you're in here and you are on the opposite side of the political aisle as me, I don't care. We can still be friends. That's something that as a country we've gotten away from, and that's sad, really. But let me get back into Sawney. Actually, believe it or not, if Sawney is the pronunciation, that's really what I thought when I saw it. But I know I almost always read stuff wrong, so I was trying. Let's see. I just had a train wreck, so I apologize. Yeah, my whole train of thought just derailed. I think I'm getting old timers.
There is no real thought.
So, okay. Mama Sprout, if you would, if I had mentioned anything to you that I wanted to get out in the live chat today, give me a reminder here.
New buildings,
we had a new market open up in our little town today. Excuse me. I remembered last night that it opened as we drove by it. It opened at the beginning of December, which I know we're still at the beginning of December, but a few days ago. It's going to be a place we can go get specialized meats if we want it. We're excited to go in there. One thing we want to try, because we are very we're almost thoroughly convinced. We're like 99% convinced that when we get our big plot of land and we decide to bring livestock on, one of the first, maybe not the first, but one of the first things we're going to get into is cattle, and we want Scottish Highland cattle because we have heard some of the best beef you'll ever eat. So we want to go over there because we understand them to have Scottish Highland cattle beef, and we will try some, and we will know. So that's kind of a neat. I don't even know what that's a neat prospect for us to look at. But speaking of beef, I just bought 3/4 of a beef from my uncle, and I say I bought it because everything ran through me, but actually a good friend of mine and I went half on it, and so I'm getting 3/8 of a beef to fill my freezer for the winter, and just a lucky thing happened, and we'll be getting probably, it's still not a 100% given yet, but probably getting some deer meat as well. And of course, there's still a lot of hunting season left, so that the probability of that goes up. We're just excited that the friend of mine that I went in with, that we bought the beef together. We do a lot of stuff to help take care of each other. I mean, you can't get a better friend than he is to me, and I try to be at least that good of a friend to him as well. And he got the deer, and you want half of this. We'll see what the yield is, but if it's good, we'll give it. He didn't say half, but you get the point. And if the role was reversed, I would do the same thing for him, and that's why we went together on the 3/4 of a beef. That's what the farmer had available. Farming in our backyard. I agree with that too. As far as how you raise it and finish it. But I can't say, there's more to it than the breed. I get that. Some of it is what we've heard. They're one of the, if not the most docile breed of cattle, and very, very friendly with kids. And then things like the Queen of England won't eat any other kind of beef except Scottish Highland beef, and she owns her own herd, etc. Those kind of things are in our head, but they are pretty cute. And they, by the way, I don't know if you know this, you probably do, but both black and red Angus breeds of cattle came out of the Scottish Highland breed. So it's a parent breed. It's a heritage breed, if you will. Sonny, if you get a chance, try some. I believe that it's worth it. I won't sit here and guarantee you that you will like it. Everybody I know seems to like beef, but there are people out there that don't. So it's definitely worth trying. We have a restaurant that's not too far away from here. I haven't been there in 20, 22 years. But my family went there specifically to try different exotic meats. I don't think they're that exotic. It's just that people don't eat them in general. But they had buffalo, rattlesnake, alligator, venison. Of course they had beef as well, but we like it. And I can't remember that place I went to may have had kangaroo meat there as well, but yeah, I can't remember. They just had all kinds of stuff that you just don't find in the mainstream anywhere. And the only thing I found that I didn't like was the alligator. And it, to me, I'm not a seafood fan at all. When I lived in San Diego and I was right there on the ocean, the seafood was palatable to me because it was fresh. but I didn't like it. Um, Now that I'm back in Ohio, and if I'm gonna get seafood, it's gonna be frozen. It's not gonna be even remotely fresh, and I can't even handle the smell of it. And to me, the alligator tasted too fishy, too seafoody. And but I mean the rattlesnake surprised me. I thought it was going to be kind of yuck. And I don't know if it has to do with um, the way the restaurant made it, because they made it almost like a hush puppy. Um, breaded it in cornbread, and it was shaped like the Long John Silver's hush puppies, and um, really good Tucker. Um, Josh, do you mean when you say really good Tucker? Would that kind of how would that translate to American English? I, I'm sorry. Uh, does that just mean a really good snack or something of that nature? Um, that's if you farm in our backyard for my wife and I. Um, as far as eating seafood, she's a little more into it. Um, she'll eat that nasty sushi. Yeah, I had to stop myself because I was about to say a cuss word because it is nasty, uh, in my opinion. But she loves sushi, and they're oh, okay, I get you, Josh. I get you. Um, I'm not a seafood person at all. My wife is a minimal seafood person, but both sets of our parents absolutely love seafood. If they could eat seafood every day, I think they would. And all different types of it. Lobster, crab, fish, mahi, whatever. And weird enough, um, our boy that can eat seafood loves it too. I just think I think it is interesting to note the difference in people's tastes. Um, when we moved to California, my wife had went out there a little bit ahead of me. What happened is she went out there to get us set up. I stayed here to close this down. Um, and once everything was ready to go, I went out there. Well, while she was out there, she got to eating some sushi. And when I got there, I was probably there third day I was there. She said, "Oh, you got to try it. You got to try it." And I feel really bad we were driving down the road. We just come out of a store with it. And I said, "All right, I'll try it." And I took a bite, and the poor people in the car next to us had to go to the car wash because the chewed up sushi wound up all over their car. I just couldn't even swallow it. Uh, uh, Straight on the vending. Oh yeah, I'll look. I'll keep an eye out for that. Again, there is a huge difference between anything fresh versus a few days down the road, even if it's frozen. Supposedly that keeps it better longer. Um, Wife, ugh. um, but I do have a new frying machine, a new deep fryer, so you might be able to get you some of that. Um, all right, so oh, the what's there's a collaboration going around right now. It was started by Copper Kettle Forums. 10 questions for homesteaders, I believe is how it was titled. Um, so I just got tagged in that last night. I was kind of waiting. I knew it was coming, and I should say I was hoping it was coming. I like to be involved in collaborations. Um, and I should say I haven't ever been involved, but I would like to be involved. That's a good way to put it. I've got a couple that I need to finish up videos on from months ago. Um, Something else we've sat down and said we're going to finish this weekend and do this week. We've got a lot of work to do, like I said. So, um, but that's going to be coming up. I don't know who to tag. So if any of you all who are in here, like, yeah, I'd be interested in that, say the word. I like to tag about 3 people in tagging collaborations. Um, so if you think you're interested, if you've seen any of those, and you're like, I'm just waiting on somebody to tag me in them, let me know. I'll get you.
Don't drop down.
Child, what are you doing? You just watching or are you playing? All right. Um, it's amazing. Like I'm literally looking right at myself in the screen here, and he's on the other side of it, about 5 feet away. That's why I couldn't see what he was doing. Sorry about the distraction there. So, uh, my brain is wrecked this morning. Had a couple of days of not sleeping the best, and it happens. And um, I have so many thoughts going in my head about what to do in the future with this homestead, and so all of these coming videos are an exciting preview into some of that. Um, so, Loving Ivy Farm, I saw this a few minutes ago, so if you're still here, I know that not all sushi is made from fish, um, but I also don't know. I can't sit here and tell you, well, this one's not, and maybe I would like it or anything. So, if you don't mind, tell me some examples of what you know of that's out there that's not fish sushi, and I might try that. I'm not against continuing to try things, and in fact, um, and I explained in one of my videos previously, as a kid, I never liked radishes, so it's probably been 30 years since I tried a radish. So I threw some in my garden this year. Um, and that was like the one thing that really did well in my garden. And I never got to use them. Now, why did I do that? Well, part of it is because I was doing some companion planting, and I wanted to have something to plant with. What did I put in there? I don't remember what I had with it. Um, and I, read the book, whatever it was, and it said radishes go good with it. And I said, okay. So I put that in there, and my radishes did really well. Um, I, I did that for the reason of having something else in my garden. Number one. Number two, I know a person's taste can change, especially from when you're a child to when you're several years an adult. And number three, I read somewhere that if you ferment your radishes, um, food forest permaculture. I look forward to your video about the herring. Thanks for stopping by this morning, and I will be again looking for that video, and I'll see it then. They do grow quickly, and see, I about said something that I can't say because of we're trying to do a video later that if I said this, my wife's answer and mine might not be the same. So, striving for the simple life. Good morning. We are extremely glad to have you here. Thanks for stopping in. I hope I can maintain your interest, but I don't know. um, Northwest Oregon. I would say, well, I hope you love it out there. It's beautiful country, that's for sure. We've been through all kinds of subjects today, and I'm about to open one back up. I don't want to. What we want to do though is there's a lot of things we want to do, of course, but in reference to radishes, is I do want to get some so that I can get them in the fermenting crocks, and because I have heard fermented radishes really don't you can't tell they're radishes, so I'd like to try that. We're not in Portland. I think you just answered the question that I was about to ask. Um, not quite on the West Coast. I did have out of our garden, I did have one of the radishes. I just picked it up and I cleaned it and cut a couple bites off of it. I think I got it really just a couple days before it was ready. Um, it was palatable, certainly, but there was really no flavor to it yet. So I think it needed a couple extra days. Um, that's a good idea, Lisa, to use them like potatoes. I'm gonna have to look it up. See, we're doing the keto lifestyle now. Um, Nathan, Jerry, thanks for stopping by. Be safe out there, and I do hope you guys get to feeling better very soon. Um, Sonny's place, I don't remember the kind we ordered. I mean, I've still got the pack out in the cabinet. I could look and answer that later. I know they were a red one. Um, and that's all I remember. And we're doing the keto lifestyle. Going back to what I was saying, just so I don't lose my thought. Morning, reap what you sow. Thanks for stopping by. We're doing the keto diet, so that's a low carb, high fat diet. I don't even know what the word is. Medium. You got 3 macros for food, so you've got fat, protein, and carbs are the macros, and so it's high fat, medium protein, low carbs. So I have to look at the carbs in radishes, but that may be a good potato replacement. It's not a bad idea. So we'll look at that. I would say, based on my non-medical research, that it's probably healthier, even if it's not good for keto. So we'll try that out. I have looked in the at some different radishes. Moderate, babe. I'm telling you, I'm getting old timers, and it's nothing's working in my head today. No, I really have legitimately had a few days of just not sleeping well, and I think it's catching up to me. Um, Reap, I need to go back. I'm glad you're here because it reminds me of something I need to go back and look at your rabbit colony setup, because that's something we're looking at getting into in the semi-near future. And I have heard a lot of people say that you are the example to follow to be as close to natural as possible with that. So thanks for stopping in, if for nothing else than to say I got to remind myself to go look at that. Um, well, and as with any food, simple life, as with any food, there's so many different varieties that, yeah, you've got to be careful. And I don't know the answer to which one would be the best. God's third acre, good morning. Glad to have you here. Thank you. I wanted to mention for the people who came in just the last few minutes, there is the collaboration going around, 10 questions for homesteaders. Um, I just got tagged in that last night. So if you all have interest in it, please say so, because I'm looking for people to tag in it. I have one collaboration going now that I started. I don't want to continue, to tag the same people over and over again. I'd like to spread the wealth, if you will. I got my hacker. Okay. So just throwing that out there for you. Let's see. He got his hacker on some God's third acre. I'm glad to hear that. You were one I was actually really thinking about tagging. There's a couple other I'm thinking about, and I'll cat off on the side. Turnips are a good idea too for replacements. See, when you're 40-ish years old and you've done the same thing all your life, it's hard to think about things like that. What can I replace X with, and it still be just as good or just as, I think a better word for that is satisfying. How can I get what satisfaction I get out of eating a potato? Is there something else I can eat that's healthier for me? Now, I'm not listening here and, well, look, one diet's going to work for me and it may not work as good for the next person. I think a person from Ireland is going to do much better on a potato diet, a potato-based diet, for example, than a person from the Pacific Islands. And that person from the Pacific Islands is going to do better on a high in fruit and nuts diet than that same person from Ireland is going to do. And when I say from those places, I mean been living there for generations. I am not a believer in evolution. I'm a believer in adaptation. I believe that, God created us as human beings, not as monkeys. But when we migrated to different places over the generations, we started eating what was there where we migrated to, and over the generations, our bodies adapted to that kind of diet, and we passed that adaptation down to our children for generations. Loving Ivy, I think you're right, but I don't. If you're not satisfied, but what does satisfy me? Like, for me, I am unquestionably addicted to refined sugar. Like, it is a video I'm going to make, so I don't give out too much. But we got something right before we went on this diet, and it was, I got to have this right now, and I wasn't even hungry. But when I did get it and I ate it, it was a different satisfaction than, a full belly. I'm satisfied on the keto diet in that I'm not hungry all the time. Well, most days. I'm not hungry all day long. I'm not hurting because I'm less inflamed. But I don't have that. And I don't even want to say that high that I get from the refined sugar because there's a difference, I think. I mean, it is a high in the most technical of terms, but it's a different satisfaction. But to eat a potato, for example, it's filling, and it's that comfort food. Guys, Third Acre, thanks for stopping by. Have a good day. Be careful doing what you're doing today, and we'll see you next time, hopefully. So there's different types of satisfaction, and when I said that about earlier, I was talking about that comfort food satisfaction, and I think that's something I need to get away from is to get satisfaction. If I'm going to get it from food, that it needs to be a healthier food for my body. Striving for a simple life. My A1C number was at 5.6, and I was obese. I still am a little obese, but I'm less obese than I was at the beginning of the year. But if my understanding is, if my A1C, my wife will correct me here if I'm wrong. If I was obese, that's one comorbidity. And if my A1C would have went up 0.4 more points, I would be officially a diabetic. And I just looked at my wife and I said, that's something I'm not going to do willingly. I'm going to do everything I can to prevent it. And we went on keto and I started losing weight. My A1Cs dropped. I don't know the exact number now. I mean, it was taken 3 weeks after the second time it was taken. It was taken about 3 weeks after I started onto the keto diet, and my A1C had already started dropping. And next month sometime I need to go back in and get it checked again, and we'll see, because I'm not going to just sit here and willingly let my body become diabetic, have heart disease and whatnot. I quit smoking years ago because I didn't want lung disease. And, when I started smoking, I didn't care. I don't want my kids to see me doing these bad habits. I need to give them an example, et cetera, et cetera. So, sweet potatoes. Oh, loving Ivy. I love sweet potatoes an awful lot too. But yeah, we're talking about this in addiction. That's another video that's going to go in our Keto Challenge collaboration playlist here. I'm going to try to get that one done this week too. We'll take this as your invitation to look at that when it comes up. Good morning, Nodo Acres. Thanks for stopping by. We've kind of talked about our keto stuff at the beginning, although we're chatting about it a little bit again. To look for some more, I'm going to say deeper videos. That's a good way to put that. Deeper. I'm not going to just talk about food and the medical part of it. I'm going to get a video out here very soon about the addiction that drove me to decide for keto, and I'm going to talk about some of the emotions behind it. Sonny, my kids don't like them either, and I just don't get it. Because they love sweet stuff. And, having, I got to go back and look at this. Lisa, what you said about, I was addicted to colas when I quit them. It was a rough week. Never done drugs or alcohol, but the story there. That's how I was with Mountain Dew. I mean, it was depending on how it was bottled, but let's just put it in 2-liter bottles. I could drink a couple 2 liters a day and no problem, except for the monetary problem, because that was a lot of money going out in nasty old soda. And the point, or just direct to the point, is we were struggling at one point in time, and I just said, that's money we can save. So I quit drinking it, but I knew for 4 or 5 days, my wife and kids hated me. The headache was horrible. The attitude was horrible. And I will say that it was about 3 weeks before I even tried to. I bought a container like most people make Kool-Aid in. I bought one of those, and I bought, a 22 tea bags or whatever in a box, Lipton tea. And I bought some fake sweetener because I've never liked regular sugar in my tea. Even though I'm as addicted as can be to it, I never liked regular sugar. I like the way that fake sweetener is mixed in. Now, I don't use aspartame for many reasons. So what I bought was sucralose. That was at the time they were just starting to discover sucralose may not be good for us either. But I used it. I drank that nothing but tea and water. I don't know, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that. I mean, it wasn't a tremendously long time. And, I went to somewhere that had Mountain Dew, and they had bottled Mountain Dew there because they knew I was coming. And I took a glass of it, and I couldn't finish the glass. I was like, how did I drink this for all these years? It was so sickening sweet. And I still can't go back and drink it. And now I'll have a certain diet soda, diet pop, depending on where you're from. And there's one that I drink pretty regular, that I kind of need to get back off of. But it's one step at a time for us. What we want to do is, we want to get fully on this diet and be going on it for several weeks, maybe even a couple months, and then we'll do the next step to make ourselves healthy. And for my wife and I both, it's going to be getting off of soda pop. Um, Let me just do a quick run through these and make sure. Honey and maple syrup. I do have a good supply of honey on a regular basis, but again, just now I'm not using that. You use stevia, and we generally speaking use monk fruit, no dough acres.
Let me just throw this.
You don't. You do not. Okay. Um, I'm almost caught up on the comments, guys. Sonny, that's something I looked at in our bakery. Oh, I've looked at it. I'm not going to say if I picked it or not. Um, I'm interested. I will say I'm interested in growing one or multiples. But yeah, it didn't take long for me to say I don't like soda pop anymore. Mountain Dew anyway. I will say that the one I drink kind of regular now is an orange colored soda pop. Again, I don't want to do free advertising. I don't think it would be a copyright strike to say their name, but I don't want to do free advertising for them.
It's called Sunjuice.
Hush. Well, no, I just said I don't want to say the name of it. Oh yeah, Lipitor. I've heard. I've heard that that's got some pretty rough side effects. My wife is a registered nurse. She could probably sit there and list them all off right now. That was something else when we started this diet. Not only was my A1C way high, both of us had cholesterol that was so high the doctors were pushing meds hard on us, and we both told them. We told them we're trying to give us 3 months to do this diet. And we did this diet for 3 months, and we didn't go back to the doctor to get our lipids checked. So after that was January, and we went and had some testing done. Our insurance company requires us to do testing outside of just seeing our doctor. It's like, why? Our doctor has all this information, just get it from them. But they want us to do this, and we went and did it. And one of the tests that they did was our cholesterol, and both of our cholesterols came back too low. So just a little change. Adding avocados to our diets is one of the things we did that helped. I mean, I eat a salad almost every day, so getting those green leafy vegetables in, and I also eat an ounce to an ounce and a half of some sort of. It's usually either pecans or almonds. Those things right there, when they go through you, it's high in insoluble fiber, I believe. Maybe it's soluble fiber. Mama, tell me what that is. But when you digest it, those little things, they reach up and grab cholesterol and take it out of your body. And I have heard people say before that cholesterol is your body's response to inflammation. So between adding the cholesterol grabbers and eating a diet that is an anti-inflammatory diet, between those two things, we've gone down quite a bit. Reap what you sow. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a good day. Be careful in all that you say and do out there. 5-gallon bucket of bacon. You are more than welcome, Sonny. You are more than welcome to send some of those our way. my wife loves pecans. I eat them. I prefer almonds. She prefers pecans, and both are really good for the keto diet. So, hey, we wouldn't complain. We might even face it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure you picked them up because you all like them too. So, wow. There were a couple times, I didn't say it this time, but there were a couple times I thought, I don't have an hour's worth of stuff. And here we are at 59 and a half minutes already. So let me start winding this down because, again, I've got a lot of stuff to do today, and so does my wife. Mama Sprout, you are the only moderator on here. If you would, take a minute, type in our website, your website for soap. Anybody who's, I know. He said, just so you know, he said that Mama Sprout is his mom. That's one of those things, dad and kid. She's my woman. She's my woman.
No, she's not. I'm your kid.
If you guys are interested in goat milk and honey soap, Mama just put the link to our soap store in. We have been updating the website with new not new. Well, there is one new. Is there one new or there's two new items in there? But we've been refilling our stock after being at the Homesteaders of America conference and selling out. So we've gotten a few things updated. One of the channels that watches us is named Sonny's Place. And they wanted me to tell you what? That's our channel. One of the channels that's watching us, Sonny's Homestead. She wanted me to tell you Spider-Man is awful. No, that's not what she said. I think it's a she. If not, well, that channel wanted me to tell you that Spider-Man is awesome. Do you think Spider-Man is awesome?
Yeah.
Since you said something about wanting to try the soap, I will mention that we had at the HOA an artisan line of soap, which was not completely 100% all natural.
And Middle Sprout was in the background.
Yep, Middle Sprout just walked by with the Homestead dogs. That was the noise you heard. And but I want to say that my wife has started adding an all natural line. I understand that. I know one of them's on the site. There might be two. I understand that she was having some problems getting it separated to where someone would know this is our artisan line. It's not all natural. And then the other one is the natural line. I understand that she's got that separated now. Even the Sparrow Homestead. Hey, I'm glad you got to stop by just for a few seconds or a minute or two. Okay, there's two natural on the website, and so if you're interested in that, please feel free to go have a look and know that we are updating it probably about once a week now. We're going to be updating. I know we're taking some pictures of a soap that she made today here in just about an hour. We'll get the pictures made. It'll probably be later this evening or tomorrow when, as she says, mentor. One of the soaps she's made for Christmas specifically, Christmas time specifically. So please feel free to stop by there. My wife is the only moderator on. That does not change the fact that I want to say thank you to our moderator. Thankfully, as far as I could tell here, there was no need to wipe out any nasty troll comments. I have seen some lives that have just been ate up with troll comments, and the moderators do a great job there. You do a great job here too, so thank you. Good morning to the Walterman Homestead who just arrived. Unfortunately, we're wrapping it up, so won't get a lot of time to chat with you, but thank you for stopping by even for just a minute or two. Guys, look back through. There were several sites on here. Few of them I haven't seen in our lives yet. Please look through to the other channels that are in here. If you look at them and you like some of their content, do everybody a favor and help each other out and give a subscribe. Now don't take that the wrong way. I'm not saying, you go to this channel and say, I'm going to subscribe to you, but only if you subscribe. That's not what I'm saying at all. Saying if you look at other sites and channels that have been in the chat and you like them, let them know. Give them a subscription. Everybody can appreciate it and everybody can use some help. Again, thank you for being here. And with that, I'm going to wrap it up with one last thing saying, remember that this is the day that the Lord has made. Rejoice and be glad in it, because there's something that went good for you today, as there is for me. thanks again, everybody. And we will see you on a live next week, and we'll have some videos up this week.
Well, I can't go from there. Can't go from over there. So